You're listening to The Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with Lyndia Grant.
Well, good evening, Radio 1 listeners. Thank you for tuning in to The Lyndia Grant Show. We've been here for 15 years, and I'm always excited being a member of Radio 1 under Kathy Hughes, the largest Black entrepreneur on Wall Street in the radio industry. So we're happy to be a part of her affiliation. We are here every Friday. Dr. Julianne Malvo has been faithful with us now for years, and we're so happy to have her come on as a regular. And the second half, we're going to talk to her first, but then in our second half, we're going to hear for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Victoria Russell Walton. She's known for her pink couch kind of event, but she travels all over the country. Everybody loves to hear her. So tune in to second half. But now we're going to go to politics with Dr. Julianne Malvo. I always like to say you're President Emeritus and Speaker Extraordinaire. And I don't know if she's still with Rainbow, but she's been with Rainbow Push for years. Dr. Julianne.
And thank you, Lyndia. And yes, I am with Rainbow. October 7th was Reverend Jackson's birthday.
Yes, I saw that.
So we all are just happy that the brother is still with us. His health, of course, is not what it used to be, but his mind is what it always has been.
Yeah.
He is sharp as a tack. He really can't talk much. But if you get him at the right time, he can do a little talking. And his son, Yusuf, and his daughter, Santita, often communicate to the rest of us for what he's saying. And so I bless him. I praise the Lord for him. I thank him for everything he's done for our people. And I wonder what he would be saying right now about the orange man. But
too much.
As you know, as of Tuesday, the government is still shut down. Lil Mike Johnson sent Congress home, told them to do district work, which means work out of there, because he doesn't want to have a vote on a number of things. But he's afraid that he might lose his majority. And so instead, what he's doing, he sent them home. So and there's a woman who was just elected from Arizona. I cannot pronounce her name. Her dad held the congressional seat in Arizona. He made his transition. She ran and won the seat. He won't swear her in.
No, he sure won't. I remember.
He will not swear her in. But meanwhile, what we have on our hands is a government shutdown. Over 900,000 federal employees are furloughed. Another 700,000 are working without pay. There are 1.6 million people who somehow have been affected by this nonsense. It's a challenging time. And on Tuesday, the president said everybody's not going to get paid. He said, you may or may not get your back pay. Now, there's a congressional law that says when the government shuts down, people will get their back pay. But he's saying, no, that's not going to happen, or it might happen. What he said was he's going to take care of the people that are his people, but he doesn't know about the other people.
Isn't that a mess?
It's bigger than a mess. And with 1.6 million people who are either furloughed or working without pay, how are you going to pick out the Democrats?
It's just so silly. It's crazy. Sounds like a civil war, don't it? The red states against the blue states, the Democrats against, it's crazy.
Well, he wants that. He's enjoying that.
I believe so.
He's really, you can tell. He's making fun of people, putting sombreros on their heads, giving people names. He thinks this is a joke. But for people who basically rely on Medicare for the health insurance or Medicaid for the health insurance, that's the issue. The other big thing that's happening is the airports are closing because there already are not enough air traffic controllers. Already not enough. They started on this big hiring spree to bring in another 2,000 by, I think they said 2027. But meanwhile, if you on a plane today or tomorrow, you better watch out. The San Diego, one of the airports in Southern California, couldn't operate because they didn't have any air traffic controllers. And so this is going to reverberate throughout the economy. People can't figure out what's going on. But that's, again, what he wants. he yeah, it's what he wants. We all have to be very mindful of this time period for any number of reasons, but he basically, if you will, is playing with us. He's playing, and half of what he's doing is against the law, but he
It,
doesn't care.
it is, and they won't bother him. The Supreme
Yeah.
Court or none of them won't try to stop him.
Nope. So now, just to get to the real nitty-gritty of the shutdown, basically, if you have health insurance, look out in the next 2 weeks, two to 3 weeks, you'll get something in the mail that's going to tell you how much your health insurance is going to go up. If you have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, if you have it through your job, it still may go up. The a period between about mid-October and the first week of December is called the open enrollment period.
Mm-hmm.
And during that period, you can switch your health insurance. You can do all kind of things. But when it gets to be, I believe it's December 7th, then what you got is what you got. Um, so people are not do not know how much the health insurance is going to go up because that's connected to the Affordable Care Act. But they know it's going to go up. Meanwhile, so the impasse is Hakeem Jeffries and the crew want to settle this issue. There's an issue of credits through the Affordable Care Act that people were getting until they expire at the end of 2025 this year. So basically, people ought to know if you're making good financial decisions, how much is my health insurance going to go up? What do I need to do about it? And because on December 1st, those increases will be in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Republicans are saying to Hakeem Jeffries and those, well, why don't you just let us keep government open and we'll negotiate later? Well, that's like saying, are you a big fool or a bigger fool?
Mm-hmm.
Because they agreed to negotiate this back in March and then they refused to. So keeping their feet down, the Democrats doing it is a good thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
However, people are going to suffer. And Trump and his cronies keep calling it the Democratic shutdown.
They
But with
do.
Republicans own the White House, the Senate, and the Congress, and the Supreme Court, how could this be a Democratic shutdown?
Mm-hmm.
This is a Trump shutdown. Let us all be
Be
very
clear.
clear
Mm-hmm.
about this. Don't believe the hype. So that's a shutdown story. And I know everybody's following the news, but guys, I just need to make sure you understand what's going on. Don't repeat the nonsense. It's not a Democratic shutdown, it's a Republican shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, moving on, of course, the National Guard has been deployed to both Portland, Oregon, and Chicago. Well, in Portland, Oregon, actually, a judge said no, they can't do that. In Chicago, they're there, even though Governor J.B. Pritzker says he doesn't want them there. Mayor Brandon Johnson says he didn't want them there. They're there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we're going to see them. This is a tactic to attack cities in either blue states or with blue mayors. In other words, Democratic states or Democratic mayors. So this is going to continue, and it's really quite frightening for many. Um, and then well, I'll save that to the end when we talk about the funny stuff. Then Pam Bondi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a Christian radio show, so I can't say what I would like to say about her. But it rhymes with Jeffa.
Okay. Uh-huh.
How your mama they
Uh-huh.
say,
Uh-huh.
little Jeffa.
Start with
Uh,
a H.
there you go. She was with Congress pretty much the better part of the day, with the Senate rather, the better part of the day today.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and she was rude, belligerent, ignorant, wouldn't answer questions. Just came back, called one senator out of his name. I think she might have called him oh no, she called him a liar. It was Adam Schiff, and she called him a liar. If they asked her a question about the Department of Justice, she would respond by saying, well, what about the time you did this? What about the time you did that? Um, it makes no sense. So she was
Mm-mm-mm.
there. She would not answer questions. Like I said, she was rude and belligerent. one of the most important questions as far as I was concerned, this whole issue of the $50,000 that was supposed to be a bribe,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't answer.
At the border. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She wouldn't answer. Where's the 50 grand? What was it for? She refuses to answer. So now you've got government sanctioned bribery. Government sanctioned bribery in this situation. And so, it's like, excuse me? But that's literally where we are. In addition to the ICE raids that we've seen in Chicago, going into apartment buildings and just taking people, including children. And now they have this scheme. If a child is over 14, they'll offer him or her $2,500 to self-deport. You will offer a child $2,500. What is a child going to do with $2,500 anyway?
Exactly.
If they're able to live up their own, what's that going to cover? 6 months rent? Maybe?
They just think it sounds exciting because that's a big number to little kids.
Exactly. So, and so, I mean, where are these children going to go? What's going to happen? But that's that. Now, today, Lyndia, I am as mad as a wet hen because I know one of the days of the month that I live for is the first Friday of the month. That's when the jobs report comes out. And as you and your listeners know, I'm a labor economist. I live for that data. I'm crunching it all day long, doing all kinds of things with it. I'm not getting any this year, or certainly not this month. The jobs report will not come out because of the government shutdown. In addition, of course, there is the Senate, bless them, did reject the E.T. Antoni. He was the nominee for Commissioner of Labor Statistics. Remember that the president got rid of the woman who gave him accurate statistics, and then they were going to go for this propagandist. But what ended up happening is the Senate did reject him, and so that position is currently vacant. However, they know how to lie with statistics and manipulate things, so there's no telling what's going to happen after this. Now, I know I'm low.
Yeah, Mom, you're already there. I'm so sorry.
You got the clue. You have to cue me, ma'am. Anyway,
I know.
The last couple of things, which are pretty much in our humor basket, the Trump coin. This man wants a 250 year of the United States commemorative coin with him on the front and him on the back. Is he the only president we've ever had?
Wow.
Even if we allowed for his stupid ego, could he at least do a montage of the other presidents on one side of this coin? Anyway, that's a coin that there's a debate about it now in the Senate, but it's ridiculous. Now, the other thing is this nonsense about Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl. So I don't even know who Bad Bunny is because I guess I'm of that age, but I did look it up. But anyway, he's supposed to be a Super Bowl entertainment. He entertains primarily in Espanol. He's Puerto Rican, which means he's a United States citizen. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. It's just a reminder. But he has taken to this with much humor, and it truly cracks me up. He said something in Spanish, and he said, if you don't understand it, you got 4 months to learn.
Oh,
so I guess that's until
so cute.
So that's your humor for the. Sometimes I just have to have the humor because the other stuff is just so serious.
So heavy. Yes, it is. Thank you, Dr. Julia.
If you're a government employee, if you're a government, don't sign anything until you check with your attorney.
All right. Thank you, Nui. Go to our commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
If it wasn't for my care coach at AmeriHealth, I probably wouldn't be so healthy right now. As a man, we don't get checkups or see a doctor regularly anyways. It's probably just a man thing because none of my partners go either. We know we should, but we just don't, and hope it works out.
So what changed for you?
AmeriHealth assigned me a care coach, somebody that gives one-on-one help, answer questions, explain things, and help set my appointments. She also helped me understand what having high blood pressure really means and ways to manage it so it doesn't kill me. It ain't nothing to play with. If you're a member of AmeriHealth, ask for a care coach. I'm glad I got mine.
At AmeriHealth, if you need a care coach, you can have one. Just call us at 1-877-759-6224 to get connected. 1-877-759-6224. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Washington Informer religion columnist Lyndia Grant.
Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus. In lectures on brotherhood, Ms. Parks often said, "People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired. But that wasn't true. I was not tired physically. I was not old. I was 42. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in." Driven out of Montgomery by harassment and death threats, Detroit, Michigan became her new home. Rosa Parks will always be remembered as the mother of the civil rights movement. Raised in the AME church, she once said, "I remember finding such comfort and peace while reading the Bible."
Read more in the religion column of the Washington Informer, an award-winning African-American newspaper. We don't report crime or gossip, just positive news. Pick up the Washington Informer or visit us online at washingtoninformer.com. Call 202-561-4100 for more information.
This is Frank Smith with the African American Civil War Museum in Washington, D.C., located at 1925 Vermont Avenue Northwest on the Green Line. Did you know that a recent study found that children who visit museums do better in school and in life than children who do not? So parents, teachers, and preachers, let's get moving. I promise you, if you bring your children to the African American Civil War Museum, they will be inspired by the images that they see. They will be impressed by our living history reenactors who are always available, and they will be involved in our scavenger hunt that takes them throughout our exhibit. That's the African American Civil War Museum, 1925 Vermont Avenue. Our hours are 10 to 6:30 on weekdays, 12 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays. See it. Be inspired.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lyndia Grant Show. We are back. We're going to have our second guest, a longtime friend of mine I met while we were doing Mary Health, Caritas DC, and breast cancer awareness. And Vicki Walton, I love this young lady. She is someone that I have worked with a lot over the years. And when I look and see what is October and it says breast cancer awareness, I don't care how busy she is, I wanted to try to see if I could get her to talk to us today in her own way. You don't even have to let me answer you no questions. You just take a 10-minute seminar and tell the people what you want them to know. You just watch the clock. Well, I'll watch the clock.
Okay, you watch the clock. Well, I thank you because I've always called you superstar and told you how big you are. And Lyndia doesn't realize what a big influence she is in the community and what she brings to the community. So I appreciate her for all that she does. And I appreciate the opportunity to address what's been going on in our community as one of the most horrific health disparities, which is cancer, and just not breast cancer, but all cancers. And you would think by now, 2025, we would have the answer. And we would be at a better state when it comes to health disparities and cancer, but we're not, especially in the African-American community. And I am not going to dwell on the disparities. I want to focus on the good side of cancer. Now,
can I say one thing? I don't know if you're going to say this, but it's in my heart so heavy. It could be bad food, because I got a call for someone told me when I was at a grocery store in Safeway in Silver Spring, Maryland. This meat department man told me that they put the freshest meat in Georgetown because the members of Congress eat there. And he said they will move that meat and move it to other stores. And then they'll move the meat from Silver Spring and move it to Southeast. They changed the dates. I'm just telling you, he told me. So you go ahead and say what you want to say, but I just want to tell that to people in case they need to know to go buy your meat from somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you know, the way I feel about meat is don't eat it. Our meat is not our grandmother's meat. This meat has so many chemicals in it and steroids, and
it's horrible, horrible.
A lot of the cancers come from our food, and that is exactly what I was going to talk about.
Yes.
Cleaning out your gut can save you so much hardships and heartaches on your body. You have so many parasites and worms in your stomach, you don't even realize it. And people say, oh, well, I'll just, lose a little weight and They lose the weight, but then they go right back to that lifestyle, fried chicken, biscuits, gravy, fried everything. My goodness, they're even frying watermelon now. Who wants to eat fried watermelon and fried cucumbers? I'm trying to understand it.
I never heard of it.
Yes, ma'am. But if we would just understand everything in moderation, and everything, as a diabetic, you can't eat everything and you can't have everything. That's how you should feel about your everyday life. Just because they make it doesn't mean you should, one, wear it, because a lot of us are not bathing suit ready. And then two, you should not eat it.
That's right.
People say, well, Vicki, I just had a couple of slices of cake and I'm not a diabetic. That's great. And it doesn't matter if you're a diabetic or not. You don't need the sugars. You don't need the salt. You don't need the additives in your body. And we don't focus on eating healthy at all. And if we would change our diet, I am fighting with myself right now. If we would change our diet and get on a healthier scale of eating, and I know the healthiest grocery stores are not in our area, but you know what, Miss Lyndia? If you can take an Uber to a concert, you can take an Uber to Wegmans or to another grocery store.
Yes,
where
you can.
They have fresh fruits. I don't want to hear, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. Health disparities don't stop you when you're in line trying to get those TVs for Black Friday. They don't stop you, when you're in line to go and get the GameStop games for your kids, for children. So it should not stop you from wanting to get whole and healthy. Should not. That should be your top priority.
That's right.
And here the problem is coming around the corner is Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, are we going to cook it up Thanksgiving? I mean, down from hog mugs all the way to sweet potato pies, all the way to the pig in the ground pulling it up. Nothing is wrong with it in moderation, but we don't know how to minimize it. Our plates are so much bigger now and we pile it on. Even when your mind is telling you, I'm full, enough, stop, we still eat because it's there. And that's how we show love. A lot of families show love by come on over Sunday. I'm gonna have all your favorite mac and cheese, fried chicken, ham, glazed ham, fricasseed ham, fried ham, honey ham, jello ham. We're gonna have all the favorites on the table, and that's how some families show love, is that gathering. But we have to now remind ourselves, wait a minute, hold it. All this fried stuff can kill us. All this salty stuff can kill us. We have to put alternatives on the table, and we have to start to teach the babies how to eat healthy. My son is stuck on nuggets. He is just stuck there. But we introduce him to other foods as much as possible. He loves broccoli. He really loves salad. He can have nuggets. You just have to balance it. I always tell him, you can have nuggets. You just have to have a fruit and a vegetable with it. And I'm okay with that. But we don't do that. We just give them fast food, microwave food. David knows not to use a microwave. The microwave is not your friend.
No, it isn't.
It's radiating your food. It's radiation on your food. And it tells you in the instruction manual when you have it, do not use this on food. Not safe to consume. It tells you on the manual.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you've never noticed that?
No. I stopped buying them in my house. I got it out and stopped using them.
It came with our stove set, but we use the microwave to store our if we have the toaster's in there right now, but to store our breads, our pita bread, our wheat bread, our rye bread, whatever bread we have, we use the microwave to store the bread. But again, you can have it in moderation, because I love a good sweet potato biscuit. Oh my goodness, I could tear some sweet potato biscuits up, but I can't have it every day and I can't have it all day. I can have one every once in a while, not because I'm a diabetic, not because I have heart condition, not because I'm overweight, but because I want to be healthy. And do you know, Miss Lyndia, anything you stop doing in 30 days, after the 31st day, you won't want it. You won't have, if you stop drinking sodas for 30 days, on that 31st day, if you try it, it's going to be disgusting to you. Because you haven't had it in so long.
That's right.
So in my community, I would like for us during the holidays to, yes, love on each other. But if you're going to go in the kitchen because you want to show love, try to find alternative ways to sweetening. Applesauce, agave, brown raw sugar, cane sugar. There's lots of other sugars that we can use to sweeten, and lots of different desserts we can share that still shows how much we love you. Because again, food is a love language, and that is one way that we show love. Now here we go, part 2, exercise. If you exercise every commercial during your favorite TV show, that is 30 minutes. So when the commercial comes on, get up, walk, move around, bend and stretch, bend down, touch your toes, take your arms all the way back up in the air. 30 minutes is all you need a day. And I'm challenging myself that I watch Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke doesn't really have commercials, but I like Gunsmoke. So I have to remind myself, Vicky, do the bend and stretch, or Vicky, get up and walk, or Vicky, dance across the floor. You have to remind yourself, and you got to love yourself enough. You got to love yourself enough to say, hey, I got to get up. I got to move. Wintertime is coming. We're not going to be able to get outside as much. We're going to get sluggish and we're going to get a little lazy. It's hibernation season, but you still got to love yourself enough to move. What does all of that have to do with cancer? Cancer loves sugar. It does. Cancer loves a lazy body. It does. If you learn how to clean out your lymphatic system, you will learn how to be less sluggish. You will learn how to be more active, and your body will thank you, because your lymphatic system is actually the drainage system of your body. It's the sewage system of your body. And when it's backed up, you can tell. That's why your feet are sweaty. That's why under your arms stink so bad. That's why some of us have bad breath. And their lymph nodes, they swell. You would be amazed. People don't realize you just don't have lymph nodes in your neck. I mean, you have lymph nodes in your arm. You have lymph nodes in your groin area. You have lymph nodes down near your reproductive system is. So you'll see these knots and swelling. That's why they remove all your lymph nodes under your arms, because they know it, and it's in there during your cancer, because it's in the your lymphatic system. It's in your drainage system. So you have to learn how to drain it. How do you do that? Tapping exercises, rubbing exercises. You can get a dry brush and use a dry brush to help motivate and move it towards your drainage to come out of your armpits, because sometimes that's why these boys are so sweaty and stinky. You have to clean out your lymphatic system. That is the drainage system of your body. So there's other things you can do. People ask me all the time, Vicky, chemotherapy, that is a personal decision that you make on your body. Me personally, I wish I never had it.
I know.
It did more damage than it did good. And the side effects is what kills you more so than that and or the cancer. I believe, and I've said this before, and I'll say it every time anybody ever gives me the opportunity to hear others can hear me clearly. I believe in what my mother and grandmother and great-grandmother did before we had all these medications. Because think about it, they were in the fields. They did not have Tylenol. They did not have ibuprofen. They did not have any of these painkillers or pills that we have now. They had to go and snip peppermints for headaches. They had to go get dandelion for infections. They had to go and get the spider webs that they kept in the barn to wrap around their arms if they had a rash or they got bit or whatever they needed to keep on their skin. They had to go and get rabbit's ears to put on their swollen feet to help it, the swelling to go down or to help the infection to come out. They had all these natural ways of healing themselves and healing us, and we've lost all of those recipes. I wish I had paid attention to my Nana when she made that concoction for my eczema. My eczema, I would rub myself and scratch myself raw to the point where I would bleed. My Nana did this mixture for me. I have no idea what that stinking stuff was, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked better than anything I've ever seen since then, except for what Shakrat mixed up. He's all natural Muslim stand where they have all of the herbs and minerals, cat's claw, burdock root, moringa, sour salt. What else? It's everything up there, and he can mix it together to help you out with your health disparities. All natural. That's what I'm getting back to, and I think we'll be better if we do.
We're running out of time, Vicki. You're going to have to give us a close. I'm so sorry.
No. I appreciate you allowing me to express the importance of exercise, eating healthy, and cleaning out your lymphatic system. Those are ways you can combat cancer as well. But I'm Vicki Russell Walton. My business is It's in the Genes. And my business is helping women, educating women, and inspiring women. We have the big Pinky Bear 6-foot mascot that's walking around handing out gifts, and if you want Pinky Bear to stop by to give you a call and drop off some gifts, we'd love to. But in the meantime, remind yourself that you are worthy of being healed. You are worthy of being whole. And if you love yourself enough, take care of yourself, because you're the only you that you have. So I appreciate you, Miss Lyndia, allowing me to come on and sharing today. It's been my pleasure, and I thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Victoria Russell Walton. I'm telling you, she's the pink couch lady, but she's added a whole lot of things. Speak all over the country, and we thank her for the work that she's been doing.
Thank you.
All right. That concludes our show for this week. Good day.
Thank you for listening to The Lyndia Grant Show. Think on these things with your host, Lyndia Grant.